What's good? Welcome to First String Podcast. On today's episode of First String Podcast, we have Dump Truck Don coming through with his question of the month. Y'all are not ready for this one right here. But we also have 12 12 NFL games for you guys to pick. The college championships are on and popping right now. Listen, I don't think Sid is too happy, but he should still show up. He's running a little late today due to work factors and things like that. But you know the whole crew will be here. So y'all ready to get into this? Y'all ready? Let's go.
Yeah.
First String Podcast. Yeah. Q Danny. Dre on the beat. You know. Yeah. What's your favorite squad? Tell me who you going with. First String Podcast, yeah, we keep it lit. We got the latest updates, we don't pump fake. Like, comment, share, we don't care, feel free to hate. We got great guests, join us, you should chime in. Houdini on the intro for the time being. Lady A, representing Washington. Pick Washington, everything Washington. Mo coming out of Dallas, you know the business. Said, them Georgia Bulldogs ain't quitting. Yeah, if you ain't watching sports, you ain't living. About to get my mattress Mac on, about to bet $1 million, Let's talk about it. We all grown and cool, we can talk about it. Before we hit the news, we gon' talk about it. Oh, you wanna bet? Let's pop a bottle about it.
Welcome back to First String Podcast. Do not forget to like and subscribe to First String Podcast. Hit the bell to enable alerts for new content just like this. And that most important part is that you tell a friend to tell a friend about First String Podcast. Listen, on Tuesdays, this coming Tuesday, we will have Lake Lewis and his wife both joining us after we beat the Miami Dolphins down. So y'all know how this is going to go. I don't know if you guys have caught any episodes of In-Season Hard Knocks, but if you haven't, give it a good look because the Miami Dolphins, they are telling a story, and we will face them on this up and coming Sunday, and then we'll review that game with the one and only Lake Lewis. All right, let's get the squad in here. Like I told you all, Sid is running just a tad bit late due to work. So we're gonna start off with the smile, the HR, the fun detector. Lady A, how are you, ma'am?
I'm doing wonderful. How are you?
I'm doing great. It seems like great minds think alike on this Saturday.
I know, right? Because we didn't even discuss this.
No. But hold on. First things first. Let's do this.
Mm-hmm.
Happy birthday, Mom.
Yes, happy birthday, Mom.
Yeah. Happy birthday, Mom. Wanted to wish my mother a happy 69th birthday.
Hey,
She's
Mom.
doing great things. We got a big year next year. We got a big year. So, you know, she already told me and sis we better get on it. So, yeah.
I agree.
You better get on it. I don't know. It's so much happening next year. So much. So, we'll figure it out. So our first Saturday of the month guest is ready to go. He has a fire question for you, but before we get to that, let's talk about this brim that he has. Let's welcome the one and only Dump Truck Don in the building. How are you, sir?
Hey, Don.
Yeah.
A bad hat right there.
My man stay clean. He stay clean.
That's a bad hat.
That's a bad man. That's a bad man right there.
I mean, everybody can't wear hats like that.
No, but Don pulls it off every time flawlessly.
Hey, somebody gotta do it, man.
So, hey, I was told that pimping ain't easy.
Oh no,
but somebody's got to do it.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Well, I grew up on Peacock Drive, so I gotta be that way. I'm a peacock, man.
Okay.
Fly to death. I got trapped. Yeah, he said you fly to death. Don is always fly. Okay, go ahead. Tell us about this brim. We know you posted it earlier on Instagram and everything like that. So, what was the verdict out there? Tell us what you did.
Let me grab something real quick.
Oh man, I didn't know he was gonna take him off camera.
You know,
that was that was not.
Yeah. See,
okay.
The hat is from this company called Dapper Renaissance.
Okay.
When Ed Reed went into the Hall of Fame,
Mm-hmm.
he had on a hat, a
Okay.
wood brim hat. The company
Okay.
makes his hat.
Okay.
He's got 2 lines of hats through this company. And when this joint came in the mail, I got an autographed picture
Oh,
from Ed Reed.
There we
indeed.
go.
Yeah. Thanks for your support.
That works
Yeah.
out.
Dapper Renaissance.
Mhm.
Dapper
Talk
Renaissance.
about.
Okay, so what do we name the hat?
I've got no official name for it. I don't know. It might be Woody Woodpecker, Woody Harrelson. I don't know. It's just too smooth, man. It's just yeah, mustard.
All
I
right,
don't
well,
know.
y'all in the chat, y'all go ahead and help him decide a
Yeah,
name for this
give us
hat
some
here.
ideas.
Great
Yeah, speaking of everybody in the chat, let's say what's up to Bruce. Bruce Glasses in the building
Bruce.
as always. Yes, and we got Go Cats in the building, youngest P1 in the building. How's everyone's Saturday going so far? Said Saturday got a little damper. He's just now leaving work, but he will be okay. You know, one loss, a 3-point loss. This is what I want to really talk about. A 3-point loss in the SEC championship to an Alabama team with one loss as well. I think they still make the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't mean
Both
that
teams.
they're bad, you know.
Yeah,
But it's still heartbreaking.
like Washington did their part on Friday, right? I think Washington is in. So now we have 2 spots to go, right? Now, here's the thing. Is Texas, they did their thing on Oklahoma State today. I mean, they treated Oklahoma State like it was a straight stepchild.
Well, we saw the spread. We talked about that. We saw that spread.
Right.
It was like 14 and a half.
Right. But and again, I said for Michigan to be undefeated, Georgia to still be undefeated, and Alabama to have one loss in the way that they're playing right now, that if Michigan has that stumble or a close game and they're still undefeated, what does that do for a Texas team now? Like Texas really, really had to blow them out, and they did their part. So now they're just sitting back waiting to see the fallout. And then don't forget, we still have Florida State that's going to play Louisville today without their starting quarterback. And can they get into the playoffs? So it is really going to be a tough decision come Monday. It's really going to be a tough decision come Monday. Trash says, as Oklahoma State fan, tears were shedded today. And I feel you, Trash. I feel you. I do feel you. That team, you could see that they were frustrated. They play with all their emotions and everything like that. It's just that quarterback of Texas is Quinn Ewers he's special for a reason, and now we know why, right? He's special for a reason. All right, Don, are you ready to get into this?
Yeah, I got a question for you though.
Yes, sir.
This might be a little bit off topic, but I saw something about Sports Illustrated naming the Sportsman of the Year.
Yeah.
Being Deion Sanders, and I'm like, really? I didn't understand why. Of all the things that happened this year in sports, a guy who coaches a 4-8 team becomes the Sportsman of the Year. I just don't get it.
Let's look at this. Let's look at it this way. He took a team last year. He took a HBCU.
A one-win team.
He took a HBCU from being unknown to now we have to cover this team. To look at what he did his second year, right? When they went all the way back to the championship game again and lost in the championship game. To leaving from there to going to a one-win team that had 0 fans in the stands the year before. Like their stadium was half empty, and you see how ginormous that stadium is, right?
Mm-hmm.
And for him to pack that thing out the way that he did without an offensive line or a defensive line, think about what he'll do next year when he gets the big boys in there.
LeBron James passed Kareem Abdul-Jabbar for most points in NBA history.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And Deion Sanders hit the Sportsman of the Year.
So let me say
go
this though. So when we're talking about Sportsman of the Year, for me, that means that you also display sportsmanship. I also have a problem with Dion being that person because Dion has actually some of the things that he said this year has been quite toxic. Like I've covered it a few times when Dion has said some things that wasn't quite motivational to his team. And a lot of people have like he's been in controversy. And to what you're saying, Pick, like I feel like because he's Dion, that's the reason why people are in the stands. That obviously if the team doesn't have a winning record, they're not there because the team is just so amazing and they want to support their team. Dion brought hope because he's Dion. So I really feel like how does that make you Sportsman of the Year? It's name recognition, if anything.
But so you still gotta look back at you still have to look back at the fact that this is Colorado.
So what you're saying, based off of what you're saying, that means Sportsman of the Year is a popularity contest.
No, but okay. What I'm saying is
that's how I'm looking at it.
Think of Colorado in the past.
Yeah,
and they have been.
They were 1-11.
They have been irrelevant for almost 20 plus years, right?
And they're irrelevant this year. They just got a bunch of hype.
They are not irrelevant. But
really?
you see them coming. You see
Dion
1 year
entourage coming.
But it's coaching. We all say coaching matters, right? We say coaching matters. And think about what he's adding to his coaching staff next year.
Okay.
He's adding a Warren Sapp to the defensive line. That's going to bring other coaches
next year. But this year,
he took a program
that won one game and got him 3 more.
He took a program that won 1 game that was a nationally recognized program and brought them back into the national spotlight. And yes, and when he took his L's with grace. Did he talk
one
brash?
by one?
Absolutely, he talked brash.
Yeah, he didn't take it.
But he talked trash. And when they didn't perform, he never shied away from it. And when they did perform, he let people know. I told you guys that this is about to happen.
How many coaches did the same thing in all of sports? That's how I'm looking at it, in all of sports. And
I know one that doesn't. Don't
get me started because
we're not going to Ron Rivera today, all right?
Because that man has his arms crossed. But I mean, at the end of the day, like there are so many coaches and players with.
He's got the same coach record as Ron Rivera.
Right. So it's like,
no, that's not true. That's not true.
Right now,
right.
This
season,
his coaching record over his
right now.
No,
4-8.
He got this.
Ron Rivera has one winning season. Dion has at least 2 winning seasons in his short college career.
They didn't give him Sportsman of the Year because of the past. They gave it to him because of this year. Sportsman of the Year means that you've displayed that for this year.
That's right. And what Bruce is saying, what your source, Bruce Glass, is saying is absolutely true.
He's not my source. But
Travis Hunter deserves more recognition than Deion Sanders for what he's been doing this year. Travis Hunter. The guy who plays on Deion's team playing wide receiver.
But that's a player. That's a player.
So players are not supposed to get Sportsman of the Year?
No, I'm just saying, like,
he's more deserving of it than him.
I'm not saying that that Travis Hunter doesn't deserve it. I'm not saying that. But you just said LeBron James passed Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. So if they gave it to Travis Hunter, you would be saying LeBron James passed Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
For me, I wouldn't have picked Travis Hunter, but he's giving you an example.
I get what you're saying, but there's other players and other sportsmen like Coco Gauff winning the There's Simone Coco Gauff who won Simone Biles. Coco Gauff won the U.S. Open, and Simone Biles is amazing.
Simone came back out the darkness and still dominating.
And then don't even get me started on the young lady out of Florida, the gymnast out of Florida. Man, she's amazing too. So yeah, but I think that is athlete of the year as well too, right? Isn't that like they have that one title for them?
Saying sportsman. So like
sportsman of the year, right?
Sportsman. I think sportsmanship. Like, how are you displaying that? I don't see any of that from Deion. Like, he doesn't have a winning record. Like, okay, yeah, he's charging this program, but charging a program could be anything. Josh Harris charged our program when he bought the team, but that doesn't equate to greatness. Charging a team means that you're just literally doing that. Charging a team, it may be beneficial in the long run, but are you charging the team and producing greatness? Had he taken a 1-11 team and the following year they're 11-1, yeah, give it to him. I don't see that. I've seen people like this. What was it, Tuesday? I just spoke on Deion and I talked about how his words that he said to the public has caused 3 of his top recruits to be like, oh no, I'm not going to Colorado.
Yep.
How is that Sportsman of the Year?
I get you. Now let's get to this. Let's get to Don's question of the month. Don brings it. He brings the heat every time he's on the show. So y'all know this. Even in the chat, he brings the heat. Yeah. Don.
Yeah.
We're ready for your question of the month.
I need the top 5 greatest coaches in NFL history. And when I say the greatest, I mean actually the best coaches, because great and best can be 2 different things. I want the 5 best coaches in NFL history. What have they done? What have they put their fingerprints on as far as the league and league history?
Okay.
All right. Yeah. Can ladies first, Lady A.
Okay, so I'm a little biased.
Hold on, wait. Don't forget to put your top 5 in the chat as well.
Yes,
put your top 5 NFL greatest coaches in the chat. Are you drinking a kombucha? What is it called?
Kombucha.
Yeah, the kombucha. Okay, yeah. All right, great for your digestive tract. Good to go.
Yes. Keeps everything moving.
Yeah, you will be moving before the show is over.
Now, okay. So I'm a little biased for the first person I'm going to mention, and I'm not putting mine in any particular order because this was difficult. I mean, there's a lot of coaches in NFL history that definitely deserve to be on the top 5, but of course I'm just going to give you mine. I'm a little biased because this particular coach coached my team. However, he does have a lot to back him. He's won the Super Bowl 3 times, literally is responsible for our glory days. And that is Joe Jackson Gibbs. Yes. So I really don't think that, I mean, I just mentioned he has 3 Super Bowls. So I mean that in itself is like, okay, great. Look at Drew giving us some love with Joe Gibbs. Look at that. He know. But I have a current coach on my list. And again, I'm biased. This gentleman makes it a point to not have a season under 500, no matter how bad his team.
I knew that was going to happen. Shouts out to Steeler Queen Coco.
Man, but I mean, this is none other than Omar Epps' big brother, Mike Tomlin.
Twin brother.
Pittsburgh Steelers. I think he's older. That's why I say big brother. I think Mike is older. Don't quote me though, y'all. I don't have those stats up.
Look at the Twitch verse coming through for us. Look at the Twitch verse coming through.
What Ryan?
I like it. Okay, so then I also have, I think someone has this particular person. Yep, Droopy has him. Tom Landry. So you can't forget Tom. He's definitely right. And I'm sure Don appreciates that gentleman because he is known for some hats. But he's also a cool fact that, of course, some people who are sports fans today may not know. He's a World War II veteran. So like got that going for him. Even though he was a coach for a competing team um the Cowboys. I feel like, he's also responsible for some amazing times within that organization. I want to say his coaching career was like 29 years. So that's pretty cool. So shout out to Tom Landry. He definitely has a lot of wins under his belt. But yeah, he's an all-star when it comes to coaching. And then my fourth person, I have Bill Walsh.
Yeah.
I think some of you, I don't know if I saw him on there, on our list, but Bill,
he's on Droops.
Okay. I think Droopy was looking at my spreadsheet. But he was the head coach for the San Francisco 49ers. And of course, again, responsible for some amazing times with them. And he's quoted for revolutionizing the game of football.
West Coast offense.
Right. So if it weren't for Bill Walsh, there are some things that you just wouldn't see on the football field now. So shout out to him in his West Coast offense. And then I have this one, this last spot. And again, it's not necessarily in any order, but this last spot was for, and you guys are going to be really surprised, Marv Levy.
I was just thinking it's coming there. It's going there.
So, okay. Y'all know I do not like Buffalo, right? But definitely give a shout out to him because he made sure that team got to the Super Bowl.
They was ready every time.
4 times in a row.
It wasn't ready one time when Thurman Thomas forgot his daggone helmet.
Yeah, well, just forgetting your helmet wasn't going to get you that victory that year.
I'm sure Marv was definitely upset at that time, but even though they lost all 4, to have that like 4 years in a row, he like, oh, I do this. I'm here again. It's like him showing up to work every day. Like I'm going to be at the Super Bowl. So shout out to him. He definitely had a remarkable career as well. I want to say he spent 11 years with them. I think it was 86 to 97. So yeah, that's a long time.
That's a good run.
He had a good run with them. So shout out to him. That's my 5. Joe Gibbs, Mike Tomlin, Tom Landry, Bill Walsh, and Marv. And I always say Levy, but Levy.
Mm-hmm. All right. Listen, Joe Jackson Gibbs absolutely is my number. I was gonna say number 5, but he's not number 5. He's number 3. Joe Jackson Gibbs is right there. Number 3. Number 1 is the person that the Super Bowl trophy is named after. That's Vince Lombardi. Vince Lombardi did some amazing things in his coaching career. And all right, Bill Belichick is my number 2. You cannot argue what he did as a coach or what he has done and is still doing as a coach. You can't discredit it. Even without Tom Brady, it looks like it was all Tom Brady, but you can't take the Super Bowl rings away from him. You can't do it. So that's Vince Lombardi, Bill Belichick, Joe Gibbs. That's 1, 2, 3, right? My next one, and because you did say your greatest offensive or your greatest coaches that have changed the game, made the game what it is, I got to go Bill Walsh at number 4 because the West Coast offense, quick game, all comes off of that. And then Bruce Glass put my number 5 in there, which is Andy Reid. Mm-hmm. I think Andy Reid's scheme, and I've said this before on the podcast, Andy Reid's scheme is speed. And this year he may not have as much speed, so it's a lot of what my quarterback does, and my guy is better than yours type deal happening. But Andy Reid has his team, whether it's in Philadelphia, whether it's in Kansas City, ready to go, and they are playoff contenders every year, deep runs into the playoffs. The Chiefs have been in the AFC Championship 2 out of the last 3 years, right? They lost to Cincinnati, and in between that, they won 2 Super Bowls. Think about what he did with Philadelphia, the runs that he had with Philadelphia. Just NFC East Championship after NFC East Championship, deep runs into the playoffs. and oh my God, Bruce is naming some characters: Jimmy
Yeah.
Johnson, Bill Parcells, John Madden. And I think Drew had somebody else in there too. Buddy Ryan popped up for the 46 zone. There have been some, and you absolutely stated that Mike Tomlin has not had a losing record, right? But we have other retreads who just can't get right. They can't win. So that's my 5. That's my 5 right there. Don.
Number 5. He has the most victories in NFL history.
Okay.
All right. 347 career victories, 328 regular season. He had 2 losing seasons in 33 years.
Ooh, I know where you're going.
33 years.
That's a lot.
And he's
A long time.
33 years to coach. That can only tell you guys what team this is, right? Everybody
2
knows what
Super
team
Bowls. Yeah, 2 Super Bowls, and under his coaching tree, you got Bill Arnsparger, Chuck Noll, Howard Schnellenberger, Dan Henning, Mike, and Dave Shula. Players who became coaches under him were Doug Marrone and Doug Peterson. We're talking about Don Shula.
Yep.
Don Shula is great. You can't discount him. He started his whole thing revolved around defense with the killer bees and all that stuff back in the days. And when Dan Marino came around, threw the running game out the window and had to pass the ball. You go with what your talent is. So yeah, that's my man. Number 4 was already mentioned. I will run off a few things about good old number 4. I got notes. That's number 2.
Okay.
Number 4. Number 4. Won 10 of 14 postseason games. 6 division titles, 3 NFC championships, 3 Super Bowls. Developed the West Coast offense in Cincinnati under Paul Brown as the wide receivers coach. Yeah, his coaching tree is got Sam Weiss, George Seifert, Gary Kubiak, Jeff Fisher, Mike McCoy, Dick LeBeau, Denny Green, Brian Billick, Tony Dungy, Mike Holmgren, Steve Mariucci, John Gruden, Andy Reid, Ray Rhodes, Sean Payton, what is this? John Harbaugh, Mike McCarthy, and Bill Callahan.
Yep.
That's his tree. That is Bill Walsh.
One of these coaches that was on there is not like the others. Like he named about 11 to 12 coaches off of that tree, right?
Yeah.
And I'm out. Hell, it's Christmas time. I'm feeling generous. If anybody names the one coach that I'm thinking about that's unlike the other ones, you can be on our December 16th show, which is our Ugly Sweater show. If you put that name into the chat, you will be a guest on December 16th, our Ugly Sweater show.
Yeah, I got 9 to get on the show.
Yeah, you got to understand. You got to understand what Don is spitting at you right now. He's giving you straight facts. But there's one coach that he named out of that last group for Bill Walsh that really wasn't paying attention when they was at the feet of the master.
So he's just gave y'all a hint. He's throwing shade to the coach.
Yeah.
Oh, it's not shade. It's well deserved.
I mean, but it's still shade.
Oh, he earned it. Is it shade when you earn it?
It's still shade.
We'll let Don.
It's sunny in here, so yeah.
Okay, got you. Go ahead, Don.
Number 3. 3, yes. Named already. He was the inventor of the 4-3 flex defense. 20 consecutive winning seasons.
Yep.
20 consecutive winning seasons.
Crazy.
You know how hard
20.
that is.
That's crazy.
20. Yeah, it's hard to win 20 consecutive winning seasons. Some guys got 3 in 13 years. But we're gonna leave this guy alone.
Or they got never in 13 years.
Yeah, I know, right? 13 divisional titles, 2 Super Bowls, played in 12 NFL or NFC championship games in 17 years.
Crazy.
Coach D-backs, coached Dallas to 3 Super Bowl appearances in 4 years, in 5 and 9. Coached for 29 years. In the comedy 4-3 defense that he invented, he was with the Giants with Vince Lombardi.
Yeah.
They were coaching together. And he invented the 4-3 defense with 4 down linemen and 3 linebackers. The innovation was creating a middle linebacker. And you know who that middle linebacker was?
Here, Carson.
Tell us.
Sam Huff.
Oh,
Yes. Yes.
oh, my bad. My bad. You threw me off
Landry.
when you said that. You threw me off when you said with the Giants.
Yeah.
And yeah, you threw me
But
off
he
right
was
there.
throwing in that tidbit like you don't know.
Yeah,
And
Yeah.
that, yeah, you missed the other part. You forgot about
yeah,
the
I did.
you
I
heard
did.
Giants.
I did.
Yeah.
Yeah. That man was special, Shawty. Number 2.
Wait, you didn't say who it was.
I said Tom Landry.
Tom Landry.
I ain't hear that part, but yeah,
Yeah.
I knew, but still, because I have it on my mind too.
Number 2. He said 3 straight championships and 5 NFL titles in 7 years, in addition to winning the first 2 Super Bowls. Excuse me. 3
Whoa.
straight championships and 5 NFL titles in 7 years, in addition to winning the first 2 Super Bowls.
Mm-hmm.
Never had a losing season.
Never.
It was 96, 34, and 6, which is a 73% winning percentage. 9-1 in postseason. So a total of 105, 35, and 6.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, he also also coached with Tom Landry with the Giants. Vince Lombardi.
Of course.
Yeah, it wasn't
Vince
Chuck Noll.
Lombardi.
It's not Chuck Noll I'm thinking about. If that's the name that you're throwing out there, not Chuck Noll.
Chuck Noll is not the answer.
He's throwing shade, Bruce. He's saying that the person wasn't quite listening.
They wasn't listening. That's your clue right there. So that's your clue. Is this person wasn't listening? I think this person was off. You couldn't even. I don't even think this person was a quality control coach because there was no quality. He showed no control.
Like
Only
I
thing
said,
he did was
shade, all this shade that he is throwing.
pass checked.
Absolutely.
And probably when he was an assistant coach or on the staff, he should have been paying attention. He probably was off getting tennis lessons or golf lessons or something like that. When he
Or
should have
gone
been putting in,
fishing.
could have been doing that too. When he should have been putting in 15, 16-hour days.
Number 1.
Let's go.
Number 1 instituted a system for college talent on a scale never before imagined by other teams.
I quit. Oh,
Started the practice of calling plays from the sideline, using alternating guards as messengers. Developed detailed pass patterns to exploit holes in defense. Then develop a defense to counteract the pattern of passing attack. He was the first to use game film to scout opponents. First to hire full-time assistants. Invented the face mask. Invented the practice squad and the draw play. First to break the color barrier with black players. The first to put headsets in helmets.
Indeed.
Yes, he was 167, 53, and 8 for his record. 4 AA All-American Football Conference titles, 3 NFL crowns, 1 losing season in 17 years. Only lost 4 games in the AAFC, the American football All-American Football Conference.
Right.
When they joined the NFL and played the next 6, they played the next 6 championships and winning in 1950, 54, and 55.
Okay.
His coaching tree, my God.
Yeah.
Don Shula, Weeb Eubank, Bill Walsh, Chuck Noll, Chuck Knox, Buddy Ryan, and all those other they fall under what is it, Bill Walsh's tree?
Yeah.
Fall under his tree.
Right.
So yeah, we're talking about Paul Brown.
Yep.
Mhm.
Paul Brown got to be on your list.
All the
He
way.
needs to be up top. You got to be like 1, 2, 3 at the very least.
That's
So
the-
yeah, my list does not have Bill Belichick at all.
Yeah, we talked
Period.
about this. So Don calls, right? You know, we talk to Don quite often. Don will call all of us. He's good. And we talked about this. And Don, I think we argued for about 15, 20 minutes on this, just why Bill Belichick is
What?
not there. And I still put him on my list, Don, because guess what you cannot do? You cannot erase the fact. You can't say scoreboard and you not put him on the list. Because at the end of the day, it is not about your tree. It is not about you not having a losing
Influence on the
season.
game?
It is totally about the number of championships that you rack up. It's
That's
the
not
number of championships that you
total
rack up.
It's a coach, though.
It is
There's a
coach.
lot to do with the coach. Like
It's
a
a
coach
ton.
is supposed to influence his team, his players,
Exactly. He's
his
supposed to be a
staff.
leader of men, and I get
Right.
that, and I
Mhm.
understand it. But at the end of the day, at the end of every season, there's one team that stands above all, and this
It's not the
dude did it
Patriots.
5 times, 5 times Super Bowl champion.
There's a team that has more. What are you talking about?
There's a team that has more. Is there a coach that has more?
Okay.
Gee, I think I just named a couple. Vince Lombardi being one of them.
Well, okay,
Paul Brown being another one.
I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying, but those
Come
are
on,
not-
championships.
they
this-
are championships. They are
This pre
championships.
Super Bowl era, but hey, you talking about guys
That's the
who
part.
laid the
That's the part.
foundation for everything that is going
And-
on today.
And I'm not knocking them, but when you come back and say Bill Belichick is not on this list, Bill Belichick can always walk through an airport and have to take 5 rings off of his hands to get through a metal detector.
That's cute. However,
No
I
other
don't
coach,
feel like here's my thing. For me, when you're looking at the ability of a coach, can you take a mediocre player and produce greatness?
well, you and I both have Joe Jackson Gibbs on ours, and he did it with 3 different quarterbacks.
Exactly.
The only consistent thing about Joe Gibbs was his offensive line, which was the Hogs, and it's not. And we always complain about it.
All the Hogs from our first Super Bowl that we won with him versus the last one, they changed.
They
do
did.
know
They
that.
did.
Yeah.
They did change, but there was still a consistent. There was still a consistent person on that offensive line, which was undrafted, and we all get upset when he's not in the Hall of Fame.
So what I'm saying is he took players that weren't considered amazing, and he produced amazing results. That is an example of an amazing coach for me. If you have players that are already outstanding, they may not really have needed your coaching skills. You know what I mean?
I don't know. I don't know.
Listen, if
Kind of like LeBron and
Michael Jordan, LeBron.
No, not Michael Jordan. Like what's it? The coach, the bald headed dude.
Doug Peterson. I mean,
No.
Doug Collins.
No, LeBron's coach, Mike. What's his name? With the
Mike
Browns.
Mike Brown.
Yeah, exactly. That guy.
Mm-hmm. But
Yeah.
it's like you
Talent coaching.
have players that could probably
No,
just
that's-
coach themselves.
But that's different. Okay, so tell me this. Tell me how many Super Bowls do the Patriots have without Bill Belichick?
We don't know. We won't.
They
know.
don't. That's the answer. Is they don't.
Oh, but they got there.
Realistic question, though.
They got
They
there,
got
but then when
blown
they
out by
got
the
there,
Bears.
they got blown out by the Packers.
They got beat by the Cowboys too.
But here's
So-
what I'm saying to you, Pick, is because at the same time, we already see that the Patriots without Brady did not have, even
It.
with Bill still being there,
But-
they didn't have a
Let me
It.
let me
So
ask you
They
this.
didn't have it.
So we can't really say if Bill Belichick wasn't there, but we can say if Brady wasn't there. But Bill
But-
is still there.
Let me
What
ask
if
you this.
Mo Lewis never hit Drew Bledsoe? What we have this discussion right now?
We may or may not, but let me ask you this. At some
What
point in
if?
time, the players that are mainstays, that are cornerstones, that are pillars for a team take over that team, right? The San Francisco 49ers, we give Bill Walsh all of the credit, but did they not change quarterbacks, and that quarterback had to get over the hump to get them another Super Bowl? We talk about Steve Young going from Joe Montana to Steve Young, right?
Right.
So don't that coaching doesn't matter because you have a quarterback, because it does. But if you have a quarterback that stays the whole time, they can eventually run your team to the point where you could tell somebody, don't touch the thermostat.
But that's what
You're
we're
discounting. You're discounting George Seifert at that point, because George Seifert took over.
But I'm not discounting George Seifert. But what I'm saying is this: is you guys are saying without Tom Brady, he hasn't done anything, and I'm with you. But at some point in time, he had to let Tom Brady become the leader of that team. And Tom is the leader. Yes, I'm the head coach, because you can't keep holding your quarterback back. Everybody's looking for a franchise quarterback, and Tom was that.
Coaching.
So what did he do in Cleveland?
Bill? We can't say that it was coaching from Bill. I'm not saying that Bill is. I'm not saying that Bill is a bad coach. I'm not necessarily saying that. I'm not trying to take away from him. However, I'm going to put people on my top 5 that there's no argument about it. That's what it's secure that this is coaching, because I mean, look at people were ready to count Doug Williams out, right?
Yeah,
he wasn't a fresh, new, young quarterback.
No,
none of that. He comes over to our team from down in Florida. Right, he came. Yeah,
from
Tampa. He was in the USFL when he came out of the USFL at that point. Right. But he did take the Tampa Bay Buccaneers to the NFC Championship game.
Correct.
Yes, he did.
But a lot of people were counting him out at this point, right? So we have a quarterback that people were just like, he's mediocre. Oh, he's mid. But then he comes to Joe, and Joe takes him, he molds him and the rest of the team, and it's like, all right, let's do this. And he takes them to the Super Bowl. He took them to the Super Bowl with 3 different quarterbacks.
You know who was on that team? You know who was on that team that you're speaking of? You know who was on that team?
Who?
That was on that 87 team?
Jay Schrader?
Jay Schrader, but that's not even who I'm talking about. I'm talking about a player that when you go back and watch that Super Bowl, you'll see him on the sideline in street, what they're gonna call street clothes, but they was the sideline uniform for the players that were on the team that were not there. I'm talking about Mark Rippon,
right?
The third quarterback to win a Super Bowl with Joe Gibbs. He was already in the system, so when Mark hit the field, he was off and running. But we're not taking that away from Joe. We're giving Joe that credit, right? Now, I'm
confused why you would take that away from Joe.
Right, but just like
sixth-round draft pick,
just like what Bruce is saying right now is this. Bruce is saying
sixth-round draft pick, and Mark Rippon.
You can't take that away from Bill Belichick, because at that point in time, no one would say that they were a potential Super Bowl winning team for the dynasty that they went on.
Okay.
That has to do with coaching. That does have to do with players. That has to do with culture. That has to do with everything that we look forward to in our future team.
Correct.
Spygate, Deflategate.
Okay.
All this stuff. This is what he influenced, right?
There's an argument. There's an argument that he is not a good coach, and I can't necessarily tell people who are making that argument that they're wrong. That's why he's not on my top 5. Because
I can tell you,
for people who said, "Oh, he wouldn't have won without Brady," I mean, I can't dispute that.
As much as I love the conversation, and that's what Don does, is he brings us good conversation, good content, and you can tell he does his homework, because we're engaged, we're on it. This is our Saturday show. I got to get us back on topic, and we will continue this all month of December. All right, so guests, get ready for this conversation. It's going to be fun.
You having Travis on this month?
We're talking about it right now. Me and Travis are talking about it right now. So yeah. All right. So our Saturday show, y'all know what we do. We pick games. We have 12 NFL games for you. We'll be getting that started right now. All right. Sid, I guess should still be on his way. maybe sitting in a little bit of traffic or something right now. Don't know, but let's get into these games. All right. Graphics were done Friday night, so some of these spreads may have changed. No worries. I got it up and I'm ready to go. Our first game on the schedule for week 13 of the NFL season is the Atlanta Falcons and the New York Jets. The Atlanta Falcons are coming off of. They had a bye. No, they lost last week. They lost.
Mm-hmm.
They're coming off a loss, and the New York Jets are coming off a loss to the Miami Dolphins on Friday, the first NFL Black Friday game, where they looked pretty bad. They looked really, really bad. The Atlanta Falcons, actually, they're not coming off a loss. They're coming off of a victory where they started to absolutely take control over the South. My bad.
Ritter, that was their drama game that they had.
Right. Ritter is starting to look a little bit better. I guess he's starting to get his feet, but without a doubt, Bijan Robinson is absolutely looking really, really good. Let's look at this line. And the New York Jets absolutely just took Tom Brady and started his 21-day practice window. I'm not Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
Aaron.
I was about to say what?
What?
Aaron, they got him on his 21 practice day window, just in time for them to play the Commanders. The Atlanta Falcons are -2 at -112. Their money line is -136. The New York Jets are +2 at -109. Their money line is +112. The over-under set at 35.5, 107 for the over, 115 for the under. 115 for 114 for the under. I looked at my graphic. 114 for the under. Lady A, can you keep this for us real quick?
I'm gonna try.
All right, bet. All right, Don. You know how you do it. You get to pick any way you want to, but we have to pick a winner, over, under, or something. Don, who you got? And by the way, the last time, Don, I think Don lost one game.
Yeah.
Don lost one game when he showed up here in November, and he let me know. He's like, I'm undefeated right now before the 4:00 game started. So, all right, Don, who you got?
Give me the under.
Don's going with the under of 33.5.
I thought it was 35.5. You just said 35.
33.5.
You said 35.5.
It's on the screen. That's right. 33.5 on the screen. I don't know if you had it, but
yeah, I'm still going to under.
Under 33.5.
Yeah.
All right. Don's going with the under. Lady A.
I like the Atlanta. You, but whatever. Go ahead.
No, I'm telling you. I'm telling you my pick here.
Your pick.
I chose the Atlanta Falcons to win this division. I think the Atlanta Falcons win this game.
Mm-hmm.
I think the quarterback play in New York is pretty terrible. And I think that does make a difference. And if they hand the ball off, this Jets defense is legit.
Mm-hmm.
But we got to see how if we see how this goes. I like the Falcons -2.
Okay. Falcons, you laying the 2.
Laying the 2.
Okay.
Say we're gonna need your picks. We are gonna need your picks. Say it's not gonna make it. He has to get some things done.
Oh, let him know.
I got.
Was he crying in the car?
He might be.
Nah, he had to work. He had a rough day, so it makes sense.
Yeah, oh boy, Santa Claus took the day off.
Was he being Santa Claus in the mall or something?
Man, he told Sid you got the shot.
He the mall Santa Claus?
Lord, no. I can't imagine it.
What you want, little kid?
I am
leaking oil.
I'm going to take the Falcons money line.
Ant is coming back. He's coming back soon.
Ant you said that 2 months ago.
Ant will be back soon. And she's the Jets for the W.
Ant is out there shirt shopping for a shirt that's not too tight.
There are no shirts that are not too tight.
No, I was about to say, no, he's not. He's shopping at Baby Gabby. Y'all leave him alone.
Wearing mediums.
I like that. Bijan Robinson for anytime touchdown is plus
That's
125.
good.
Plus 125. Okay. Our next game is the Arizona Cardinals versus the Pittsburgh Steelers. You got the Arizona Cardinals, whose team is just chugging along. The Pittsburgh Steelers, who got right last week with the change in offensive coordinator. Mike Tomlin's that coach that like we all spoke of, said that he is not going to have a losing season where the Arizona Cardinals are trying to get their footing. They traded away a lot of their team, but Kyler Murray is back. He's looking pretty good from the knee injury that he had last year. And like they say, catch me if you can. I'm the gingerbread man. Let's look at this line. You got the Arizona Cardinals at plus 6.5 at minus 113. Their money line is plus 220. The Pittsburgh Steelers are minus 6.5 at minus 108. Minus 108. Their money line is minus 278. The over-under is set at 41. 108 for the over, 113 for the under. Okay, Don.
The over-under is set at... Oh, yeah. I'm sorry. I was looking at the next game.
108, 113. Yeah.
Give me the Steelers.
The Steelers. Don wants the Steelers.
Money line?
How, Don? Yeah.
To win.
Money line.
Money line. That's the money line. All right, the Arizona Cardinals at plus 6.5. That's a whole touchdown there. The Pittsburgh Steelers offense is not that great yet. Give me the Arizona Cardinals plus the 6.5. Arizona Cardinals plus the 6.5, please.
Okay. Okay. I am 6.5. So let me say this about my dear
5.5.
One of my favorite
it's 6.5 right now.
Yeah,
I'm reading the actual line.
Go Caps. So we're pulling the live numbers I'm sorry.
When we do the graphics early, the numbers change.
Yeah. So the Steelers are ranked, their defense is ranked number 5.
Yep.
And then the Cardinals have yet to win on the road this season, and they're only averaging 11.2 points per game. So on the road. So I'm taking Steelers money line.
Okay, so
that's you. You're by yourself.
I'm by myself.
Turn your head to the left, sir.
Okay, we're God. Get it together. Let me go ahead.
I'm not saying you got me over here doing too much. You're gonna have to do it yourself.
I got you. All right, here we go.
Wilson!
Yeah,
that's just funny, man.
Steelers and the under is what Bruce says, and Go Cap says Don's not wearing any first string merch. He's not, because it would mess with his hat game, and we do not want to upset the forces of nature. So we leave Don's hat and shirt game alone.
They haven't sent me no merchandise yet.
Well, you didn't have to tell that part.
But it's supposed to be coming soon.
It will be coming soon. It will be coming soon. We'll know if we can get
put you on blast on air.
We'll know if we can get the logo. On one of your strong wool hats. We gotta figure that out.
Oh God, I can't imagine Don messing up his logo.
Our next game is the LA Chargers and the New England Patriots.
Still waiting.
Oh, okay. There we go.
Still waiting.
You're still waiting. Don't worry, no. We got you. We got the LA Chargers and the New England Patriots. The New England Patriots are a dumpster fire, as we all know. There are questions literally about Bill Belichick's job, and we'll see where New England goes after they lose one of the greatest coaches of all time, one of the winningest Super Bowl coaches of all time. The LA Chargers, their head coach literally is probably on the same hot seat with one of the best quarterbacks in the game in Justin Herbert, but the wins don't seem to follow. This team has a way of collapsing at the most inopportune time. I'm talking about the Chargers, that is. But when you have two teams that are totally going in the same direction. Someone has to win, supposedly, unless Lady A says it's going to be a tie. Let's look at this line. We have the LA Chargers at -5 at -109. Their money line is -245. The New England Patriots are +5 at -112. Their money line is +195. The over-under set at 139, 110 both ways. 39 and 110 both ways. Don, who you got?
Lance Allworth.
A player from this century.
Who you picking, Don?
Lance Allworth. You know he played for the Chargers.
So you taking the Chargers?
With the Chargers, yes.
Okay. All right, got you.
All right. Yeah, listen, the Chargers are going to win this game. The question is literally by how much. And that defense is legit. So Matt Jones or Bailey Zappi, as said, calls them the Twins. It doesn't matter which one is in there. They will throw interceptions because of the pressure that the Chargers get. It's too easy to take Chargers money line, but I'm going to do it. I'm going to take the Chargers money line.
Okay. So, just to let you guys know, I agree. I really think that the Chargers are going to win this game. But both the Chargers and the Patriots have over records of just 3-8. It kind of points to their struggles as far as scoring is concerned this season. The Chargers have hit the under in 8 of their last 9 games. And the Patriots have hit the under in 9 of their last 10 games. And then New England has scored just 13 points combined in the past 2 games and 7 or fewer in 4 of its last 8. Like these, neither one of them are scoring. So I'm going to go ahead and take the under 39 for this game, but I do agree with you guys. The Chargers will probably win this, but I'm just.
So you parlaying it?
I'm not parlaying.
You're just going
as far as here.
I just want you to know.
Under.
I just want you to know you're going against your source and Bruce Glass. He says take the Chargers and the over, but you again are zigging when Bruce is zagging.
Oh, because he's not my source. I'm sorry to tell you.
All right. Well, go Cast. You said, what do we think of the Commanders hiring Ron Rivera as DC and head coach? Well, he just took over the play calling. Go ahead.
I see the question. Can I respond as Vince McMahon?
Yes, please, and thank you.
You're fired.
You know.
Well,
you good with it?
He took over the play calling responsibilities. He hasn't named a DC.
Right. That's because he's calling the defensive plays.
Apparently.
Big difference.
Pepsi.
We'll see how that goes because the defense is definitely needed this game.
Yeah, they're going to give up 40 this week.
The
Detroit Lions. Detroit Lions, after a terrible Thanksgiving, traveled to New Orleans to take on the Saints.
Oh, child.
The Saints, this is an injury-riddled team right now, but they still have that guy number 41, Alvin Kamara, in the backfield. David Carr seems to find his footings every now and again, and then he loses it. Chris Olave, not sure if he's playing yet. This offense for the Saints is pretty explosive, but David Carr seems to lose his way every now and again. The Detroit Lions have stumbled the last 2 weeks. Let's see if they can have a bounce-back game and get back on track to continue their continue to chase Philly for that number 1 spot in the NFC. Let's look at this line. You got Detroit at -4 at -114. Their money line is -200. The New Orleans Saints is +4 at -107. Their money line is +163. The over-under set at 47. 109 for the over, 112 for the under. Don.
Barry Sanders.
So he's going with Detroit. Are you taking them for the win?
Yep.
He's taking them for the win. Oh, she's talking like Yoda now. She says defensive coordinator he is. In her best Yoda voice. I like it. All right. Yeah, give me Detroit to bounce back. Give me Detroit on the good foot here. I think that is -4. I'm gonna take Detroit -4.
Okay.
I'm gonna sweat that game out. I'm gonna sweat that one
You
out.
are, because it's Detroit. I'm going to go ahead and take the under 47 on this game.
Under 47. Okay.
Yep.
Bruce has the Saints +4. Yeah, we just let Don answer that question for us. Go Caps. It's literally he just named himself DC he just named himself to take over the play calling duties, so it wasn't a big deal.
And Go Caps, just to let you know, I think he should be fired as a whole.
Yeah. But we're gonna let it play out, as the owners say. We got the Indianapolis Colts versus the Tennessee Titans. This Levis kid, since he's been with the Caps, since he's been Caps with the Titans, he has brought a different element to their team. He's throwing the ball downfield to D Hop, which then allows Derrick Henry to not face a stacked box. I think Sid has been saying this for quite a while. He said, when you have a guy that can throw the ball downfield, it lets the Derrick Henry see a lighter box. Derrick Henry went off last week because of the deep threats that Will Levis's arm presents. Let's see what the Colts can do with that. And then you got Gardner Minshew, who's still doing Gardner Minshew type things with the Indianapolis Colts. Mike Hart is starting to run the ball too, as well. And they did let go of their middle linebacker, Leonard. So we have to see what happens here. Let's look at this line. You got the Indianapolis Colts -1 at -112. Their money line is -118. The Titans are +1 at -109. Their money line is -104. -104. The over-under set at 42, 110 both ways. 110 both ways.
Right.
All right. Don, who you got?
Give me the under.
The under. Under. Okay. I feel you on that one. I do feel you on that one.
And it's straight 42, right?
42 and a half on the screen.
It's 42. It's 42.
It's 42 now.
It's 42. It's 42. Listen, with this one right here, I'm tempted to take the under as well, but I like the Titans to win this game. And it's they're at +1. Oh, or -104. So give me the money line for the Titans, the -104.
Okay. And hate to tell you this, I vote for a tie, but I'm going to take the under.
Going with the under. All right, I'm not by myself because you both took the under, right?
Yep.
All right, so I'm not by myself. It's just we all went in different directions.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's move on to our next game. We got the Denver Broncos and the Houston Texans. Listen, you got Russell Wilson and the Denver Broncos, who are absolutely been on fire here over the last 5 weeks. And then you got one of the hottest young quarterbacks in the NFL who could possibly be in the NFL
MVP campaign.
Offensive Player of the Year, Rookie of the Year, and MVP. This dude could be a triple threat this week or this year. In the Ohio State University quarterback CJ Stroud. Now, imagine what will happen when he gets pieces around him. The one thing we do know is that defense for the Texans plays very, very well. And like I said to you guys earlier, Russell Wilson and the Denver Broncos, Sean Payton as well, have come in, and they're one of the hottest teams in the NFL right now. So this is going to be interesting with a cold weather team traveling down south to Houston to play in an indoor stadium. This is going to be a really, really good game. Let's look at this line. We got the Denver Broncos at +3 at -110. Their money line is +140. The Houston Texans, Bruce's team here is -3 at -110. Their money line is -175. Bruce was telling us the whole time, and none of us listened. He was telling us the whole time that Houston had something cooking.
Mm-hmm.
The over-under set at 47, -112 for the over, -109 for the under. Don, who you got?
Give me the over.
Don likes the over. Okay.
Okay. Got it.
That's not breaking news. Go Caps, but okay. He goes, breaking news: the Washington Commanders are expected to fire Ron Rivera at the end
Oh
of the
yeah,
season.
they've been saying that.
We knew
They've been
that
saying that
like
for like 2 weeks.
2 weeks. We knew that beginning of the season.
Yeah.
They only keeping him around so they can stay mediocre and get a higher draft choice.
Yeah, but Ron will do something crazy like go on a 3-game winning streak.
No, it's not happening. Not happening.
Ron will do something crazy like on a 3-game winning streak. All right. Listen, as much as I like the plus 140 for the Denver Broncos, I think this winning streak right here stops. And then again, the way that I feel about this is CJ Stroud may have just a little bit too much hype. I told someone earlier in the chat, I think it was Ant I talked to, and I told Ant, let's see what happens over the next 3 seasons before we start to judge him and say that he broke the curse of the Ohio State quarterbacks. I still feel like waiting. So I'm even stuck at going at the minus 175 or the -3 for the Houston Texans. But what I do know is this is going to be a great game. So give me the Denver Broncos plus the 3.
Mm-hmm. All right, got you. So I'm going to say this. I'm also going with the Broncos plus the 3. And I'm going to suggest the under because Denver has hit the under on 5 of their last 6 games. And then Houston is 6-2 for the under. So I would definitely go with the under for these 2.
All right. You're taking the under.
Yep.
All right. Caps must be out west. They must be out west with a late start like that. All right. Let's move on to our next game. We have the Miami Dolphins traveling to the DMV to take on the Washington Commanders. Miami Dolphins are coming off a victory from Black Friday. The Washington Commanders are coming off of a drubbing from Thanksgiving at the hands of the Dallas Cowboys, who continuously puts up points and put up points and put up points. Have not trailed at home until last week when the Seattle Seahawks jumped out on them early. Or earlier this week till Thursday when the Seattle Seahawks jumped out on them early. The Washington Commanders have fired their defensive coordinator and their secondary coordinator. Their secondary coach, Ron Rivera, will be taking over play calling duties. Mike McDaniels, if you guys haven't seen it, Hard Knocks, you guys have to check this guy out. He is, I don't know if you've seen his side. We really don't see the side because when he stands in front of the podium to talk to reporters and everyone like that, it's a totally different person. So please go watch in-season Hard Knocks with the Miami Dolphins, and you'll see how he talks to his players. All right, I'm gonna give you an instance, okay, and then I'm gonna get right into this line. So everyone knows that Max Crosby for the Raiders, he's always around the quarterback. He's harassing the quarterback constantly. So Mike McDaniels decided that he was going to take one of his players and have him, even if after Tua threw the ball, keep harassing Tua after he let go of the ball. And that's how much attention to detail he pays to the game, is that he told him keep harassing Tua. All right, and the guy did it, and so when they got in the game, it didn't phase Tua at all. All right, let's look at this line. You got the Miami Dolphins coming in at -9 at -109. Their money line is -455. The Commanders are +9 at -112. Their money line is +$330. The over-under set at 49. 112 for the over, 109 for the under. 112 for the over, 109 for the under. Don, who you got?
Tyreek Hill anytime touchdown.
Player.
Miami for the win.
Miami for the win. All right.
Yes.
355 means you have to put down. If you put down $100 plus 355, if you put down $100, that means that you're going to get, and you win.
Yeah.
When you win, that means you'll get $355 plus your $100 back.
Right.
All right. So Commanders money line here. They're at the Golden Knights. Can you get some Pepsi, please? I don't know. You got to check your refrigerator. I think you said earlier you were out. So
What?
She said she was out of Pepsi.
Pepsi.
I have no idea. Maybe I missed that one.
Yeah, she said she's out of
Cocaine's
Pepsi.
a hell of a
Watch the-
drug.
She says she's out of Pepsi. She's trying to watch the. She's going to watch the Caps game,
Okay.
and she's out of it. If you lose, you just lose your $100.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you don't have any more Pepsi, she doesn't have any more Pepsi. So,
Okay.
Uber Eats.
Choice of a new generation.
Don, who you took Miami, right, Don?
Yep.
All right, listen. Y'all remember Miami put up 70 on Denver?
Yes.
All right. Okay. Well, we are minus a secondary coach. We're all over the place when it comes to our D-backs being in position. I think we have one of the slowest secondaries in the NFL. This is why we play so much off coverage, is because we have slow DBs. Right? Emmanuel Forbes can't stay on the field for some reason, and he's our fastest DB.
Out. He's out.
This is my point.
Yeah.
St. Juice can't run with the cheetah, and he can't run with Jalen Waddle. Right? I don't think that we could stop their running backs, Raheem Mostert and the other guy, Hassan.
Devon A-Chain.
There we go. A-Chain. We can't stop him. This is going to be a track meet in a football uniform. That's what this is going to be. Yeah, Bruce, I'm 100% with you. Give me the over, and don't be surprised if we get.
If Miami scores all of the points by themselves,
that is definitely going to happen. No, we will score 10. So give me the over.
Okay. So just to let you guys know that Miami, they have them scoring an average of 30 points per game. Yes, they put up 70 on someone, but overall, they're averaging 30 points per game. The Commanders, and this is what shocked me, are averaging 20 points per game.
Until the last 2 weeks.
No, this is right now. This is their average as a whole.
Right.
As a whole. So with that said, and then of course the Dolphins apparently allows over 3 touchdowns a game. So I am also going to take the over as well.
All right. 2 overs and the Dolphins for the win.
Mm-hmm.
And a 6-pack of Pepsis, not to mention a partridge in a pear tree. All right. We got the Carolina Panthers taking on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The Carolina Panthers are definitely going for that number 1 spot, which they forfeited to the Chicago Bears. So the Chicago Bears are rooting like crap for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers this week. They fired their coaching staff, or their head coach, and Frank Wright. They have They have Bryce Young as their quarterback. Bryce Young is their quarterback. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers and Baker Mayfield coming to town, or Baker Mayfield and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers will host them. Tampa's defense has been doing okay. This last game is just they seem to not be able to get stops when they need it. Their offense has been sputtering along and doing big things, and then you have the Baker effect happening there. On Carolina's offense, besides their one target in Thielen, the rest of their wide receivers just don't seem to get open. In their running game, I don't know where it went in a year. I really don't know where their running game has gone. Let's see what happens here. I really don't know, man. This one is one of those games that you'll see it come on, and at the end of the day, you'll be like, let me see the highlights of what actually happened, because I think this will go back and forth. Let's look at this line. You got the Carolina Panthers at plus 3.5 at minus 107. Their money line is plus 163. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers are minus 3.5 at minus 114. Their money line is plus 200. Plus 200 now. The over-under set at 36.5.
It's minus
at 110.
The Bucks is minus 200 for the Bucks.
I said minus 200, right?
You said plus, but that's okay.
Minus 200. I'm sorry, minus 200 now, and they're over under set at 36.5 at minus 110 both ways. Minus 110 both ways on that over under. Don.
Buccaneers for the win.
Buccaneers for the win. I too agree with the Buccaneers for the win. At this point, I would buy that half point down to just a solid 3. But since I can't do that here, just give me the Buccaneers for the win.
Yeah. That's actually very smart. My source is telling me the Buccaneers and lay the points, but I kind of have a rule for myself to not take the person who's favorite and lay the points, because I get in trouble with that. So I'm also taking the Bucks money line.
All right, go Caps. Go root on the Caps. She's about to put her Caps gear on and go in.
All right.
Got you. All right. So we're all going with the Buccaneers here.
Yep.
All righty. Easy day. We got 4 more games for y'all. 4 more games coming up. We have the Cleveland Browns hosting. We have the Cleveland Browns traveling to LA to take on the Los Angeles Rams. The Cleveland Browns are without Deshaun Watson, as we all know, and DTR is under center. He's been doing as rookies do, up and down. Last week they took on the Pittsburgh Steelers and lost. The LA Rams are starting to get healthy again. At one point in time, they were doing really well. Then the injury bug caught up to them, and now they're starting to get healthy again. When they're taking a Cleveland Brown team that is starting to get unhealthy, as we know. Let's look at this line. You have the Cleveland Browns at +4 at -110. Their money line is +150. The LA Rams are -4 at -110. Their money line is -182. The over-under is set at 40.5, 110 both ways. 40.5, 110 both ways. Don, who you got?
Give me the under.
You like the under?
Yeah.
All right. I think that Cleveland's defense steps up. Cleveland's one of those teams that, before Deshaun Watson got hurt, that everyone was looking at like a dark horse Super Bowl team. I think that defense is legit. I think that they make the world a living hell for Matthew Stafford. Give me the Cleveland Browns at +150 on the money line, please.
Okay. Browns money line. And I, too, am taking the under on this game. Pretty much these teams are, the way they're trending, it looks like it's going to be the under for them. So that's where I'm going.
Bruce, I think that I should have gone with that the +4. The Rams are absolutely -4. You got +4 for the Rams.
Yeah.
But the Rams are -4 there, Bruce. So you got to put your pick back in there for us.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, hold on. Give me a second. What did he say there? He said Cooper Kupp +140 for an attempt touchdown there. Okay, cool. Go. All right. Let's move on to our next 4:30, 3:30 game. This is probably going to be the game of the week. You got the San Francisco 49ers traveling to Philly to take on the Philadelphia Eagles. The Eagles, one-loss team versus San Fran. I think they lost 3 in a row, so I think they're at 4 losses now, maybe 3. I think they're maybe at 3. San Francisco is absolutely healthy now, striking on all cylinders, and the Philadelphia Eagles is that team that you can't count out. You have to bury the dead, and they will not die. Jalen Hurts proved that last week when they just kept fighting and walked away with the team victory. He said, we're still not playing our best ball yet, but it's December. It is time for you to do that. So let's look at this line. You got the San Francisco 49ers at -3 at -103. You have their money line at -157. You have the Philadelphia Eagles at +3 at -118. Their money line is +130. +130. The over-under set at 47.5, 110 both ways. 47.5, 110 both ways. Don, who you got?
I'm thinking the under at this point.
The under?
Because
okay.
Because it's 2 good defensive squads. Yeah, I'm going to stick with that.
Okay, I like it. I like it. The fact that you're confident in it, said, yeah, you're going to stick with that. and you said it like a question means that you really didn't say it with your chest. But I'm gonna go with it. I'm gonna go with it anyway. A lot of people say that the referees help Philly out a lot, right? And Kansas City, when they played Philly, they pretty much kept them like they would fire them up on second down, they fire them up on first down to keep them out of that third and short where they can do the tush push. And I think that people sort of overlook that game plan. Yes, Kansas City's relying more on their defense now, but I think that Dallas's defense is just as capable as Kansas City's defense is when it comes to playing Philadelphia. I think this is where Philly takes their second loss. Give me the San Francisco 49ers on the money line, please. Give me the San Francisco 49ers on the money line.
Okay.
Bruce likes the over.
And let me make sure the under is 47.5. Let me put that in here.
Lady A is doing Ced's job today.
Yep. Okay, so for me, I'm going to go ahead and let's see. Okay, the Eagles are 2-0 in their last 2-0 and yeah, their last 3 games overall. Well, no, not last 3 games, but the Eagles, let's see, San Francisco had a tie?
No.
Oh, why does it look like this?
It
Almost looks like they have a tie, but whatever. The Eagles, I'm just going to go ahead and take the Eagles plus the 3. Not really sure if they're going to win, but the fact that they're at home, you know, if you've ever gone to a Philly game, it's intense. So I'm going to go ahead and take the Eagles plus the 3. I'm hoping that they give them a run for their money so that they'll be so tired, that they'll be tired way past December. You know, Pick knows why I'm saying that. I want the 49ers to be absolutely tired. The 49ers may win this, but if they do, I think that the Eagles will definitely give them a run for their money. And my sources definitely say lean with the under on this game. So I'm going to go ahead and take Eagles plus the 3, and I'm suggesting the under.
Bruce, she has stopped listening to you, and her record reflects it.
Whatever, because I'm still picking you.
The shade.
I'm just saying. So my record reflects it. If I'm doing so awful, where are you, Pick?
I'm doing better. Better than I was. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
We got the Kansas City Chiefs traveling to the Midwest to take on, well, they are a Midwest team. Well, traveling up north to take on the Green Bay Packers. The Green Bay Packers are coming off a victory on Thanksgiving over the Detroit Lions. The Kansas City Chiefs are coming off of a victory last week over the Raiders, the Las Vegas Raiders in Vegas. Patrick Mahomes is playing better. My guy Pikachu still running fast and hard. Jordan Love is doing Jordan Love things. Their running game is starting to get on track as well. Their defense is still starting to play up to par. Let's go ahead and look at this line. You have the Chiefs at -6 at -109. Their money line is -265. The Green Bay Packers are +6 at -112. Their money line is +210. The over-under set at 42.5. 112 for the over, 109 for the under. 109 for the under. Don, choose wisely.
Cheese. Yep.
I hear you. Don't think hard about this. Just play it the way you see it. One of these teams is a playoff team trying to improve their position and catch up to the Baltimore Ravens. The other team is just playing out the string. It's not hard. Don't overthink it. Give me the Chiefs money line. Lady A.
Okay, I too am taking the Chiefs money line. I just feel like they're gonna beat them. They're just gonna win. That's it.
All right. We are down to our Monday night game. We're down to our Monday night game. Listen, we're only a couple of minutes away from me going to get something sweet to eat. That's all that's on my mind is what sweets are in my kitchen right now. Like,
What's her name?
no, literally, I'm thinking like cake, cheesecake, like
Cake,
the regular
cake,
cake. There's cheesecake,
cake. Yeah.
Don, time out.
and then there's I think there's the last of like a sweet potato pie. So I'm trying to figure out which one I'm going to attack. I don't know why.
So
All
this
right.
is what you decide to say right now.
Right now, because I'm literally I can't wait to get this last one done. Talk to you guys a little bit backstage, and I'm gonna go eat something sweet.
Okay, that's strange, but okay, go ahead.
It's snacks, man. It's snacks. So,
Okay.
right. All right. So
This game has gotten worse.
if we do, this is the Monday night game that is one that you really don't overthink as well. You got the Cincinnati Bengals traveling to take on the Jacksonville Jaguars, and the Bengals are traveling with he will travel, but he will not play Joe Burrow, who is down for the season. Jamar Chase is always open. He's hurt for the season. Joe Burrow.
Really?
Yep.
Yeah, he's out for the season.
Jamar that's what I forgot last time. I forgot who the backup was.
So the line has changed because of that. Like I feel like that's really a big factor.
Jamar Chase is always open, but you can't get him the ball. It's a difference. Your backup quarterback, there's a huge drop off from your starter here. Jacksonville just come off a win versus the Houston Texans, where their offense is starting to get going. Their defense is starting to get going. They create problems for people. Let's look at the line. You got the Cincinnati Bengals at +10 at -114. Their money line is +310. The Jacksonville Jaguars are -10 at -107. Their money line is -400. -400. The over/under set at 39. 112 for the over, 109 for the under. 112 for the over, 109 for the under. As I said, Joe Burrow will not be playing. Who do you have? Don.
The Jaguars.
Jaguars money line, I'm guessing, right?
Yep.
Yeah, that's -400. So we got you, Don. You can play it any way you want. I like what Bruce is saying here. The Bengals +10, but I'm afraid that they're going to lose by 25. Because I see a defensive touchdown in Jacksonville's future this week. And if I could, at any time, defensive touchdown is what I would play for this game, but I can't do that on the show. Bruce has also put Jamar Chase anytime touchdown is +185 into the chat. He's put that into the chat. Listen, this is what I'm going to do. I'm literally going to take the 40 points. I'm going to go with the under. I just got Sayed's picks as well.
Okay. And so under 39. Okay, so just to let you know, you're just gonna have to be mad at me. The best that I can do is the Jaguars with the money line.
Jaguars with the money line.
I feel that no matter what happens, Herbal Essence will go ahead and win the game.
Yeah,
will lead his
got you. Just so we have it on record, I'm gonna run down all of Sayed's picks right here. Okay.
Okay.
Sayed has the Falcons money line. We got this in the chat, so we can really. We got it in the chat. He went Falcons money line. Pittsburgh -6.5. Chargers Pats over of 39. Is that the over under on that? Okay. He has the Detroit money line. Tennessee +1. That's a pick 'em. Come on, Sayed. Are you for real?
He's voting
Houston,
for high.
Houston money line. The Bucks -3.5. The Rams money line. Philly +3.5. KC -6. Cincinnati, Jacksonville over 39. So he has two overs. In here, he has the Chargers, Pats over 39, and Cincy, Jacksonville over 39. Well, I went with the under. Those are Sayed's picks. You guys heard them. We got them in the chat, so we can hold Sayed accountable this week. We can hold on.
Right.
Don, thank you for hitting us with the awesome questions. Thanks to everybody who was active in the chat. If you guys are active in the chat, it's okay. Just make sure you hit the bell to enable alerts for new content just like this so that you can be in the chat. Shout out to everybody that's on Twitch watching us. We really do appreciate it. And we like you guys
Like and subscribe.
Don't forget to like and subscribe to First Screen Podcast. I am your host, Toothpick. That is the sunshine of the show, Lady A, up there next to me. And down below is our guy, Don, who's here the first Saturday of every month. And we look forward to continuing this with Don into next year. Don will also be with us on December 16th when we do our Ugly Sweater show. Make sure you guys get ready for that. And I may absolutely throw it out there for you guys to join us live. But if you don't want to do that, you could take a picture of yourself in an ugly sweater and email that to firststringpodcast@gmail.com. You can email it to us and we will then get you into the show that way. Here's our email address again.
I did it too.
Okay, there we go.
Toothpick,
Email it.
Toothpick's going. His ugly sweater. He ain't gonna have no shirt on. That's his ugly sweater.
That is not true.
That type of show.
This is not OnlyFans. But if I did not have a show on, we would get all kinds. If I didn't have a shirt on, we get all kinds of donations. All kinds. I'm telling you.
Hey,
I bring in more money than Joe Smith's wife.
What? Stop it.
Oh, wait.
This is how he gets the fine. The money that you think you're gonna bring in, you paying because you didn't got fined.
Don did it.
Bruce said he doesn't own a cowboy.
Bruce said, I do not own a cowboy sweater. I got you, Don. I got you, Bruce. But Don, thanks for the shout out. Maybe I will start an OnlyFans.
Yeah. Make memories, not excuses.
Hey, Pitt. If you want to start an OnlyFans, that is on your time. We do not want to hear about that.
I'm just saying, there's money to be had. Thank you all for watching. We really do appreciate it. We'll see you guys on Tuesday when we have the whole squad back and our guy Lake Lewis Jr. and his wife, who we really look forward to talking to.
Yes.
We will wrap up the Commanders Miami game on Tuesday and look forward to a bye week where we think we should get a victory.
Or a new coach.
All right. Lady A, did we cover everything?
We did.
All right. Shouts out to my son, United States Air Force. First String Podcast, second to none. Come get some. Say it would say the dogs lost. I'm just going to say,
oh,
hell. Hell.
Ready for your beats? All right, Foster, the person.